Who wins the race to the bottom? Check out this segment of the Gig Geezer. If this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming by. And if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming back. And if you would not mind, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others. I welcome your comments in the section below, and I also ask you to hit that subscribe button. Now, this segment of the Gig Geezer is yet another edition of A Toast to the Thirsties. Now, admittedly, in my time in the gig economy, it's not like I started out being a cherry picker or being extremely selective, or as I would say, stacking orders across multiple apps. No, I didn't start out that way. I started out like a lot of folk, taking bad, horrible orders, not realizing just how shameful they were, how embarrassing they were, and just outright how bad they were. Now, yes, I poke fun at those people who actually take these type of orders, but some of these orders are so outrageous, you have to see them to believe them. Now, the first one on deck is from DoorDash, Lizard Thicket. It is 8 miles, $3.25. Now, again, we talk about the norm, the standard is $1 a mile when you want to calculate, if you want to try to calculate if the order is even worth considering. But this order is a minus $2.50 to 1, meaning that basically you'd be paying DoorDash over $5 just to deliver this order. That's how upside down it is. Now, not to mention, this order is also going to the dreaded apartment community. Enough said there. Next order on hand, Thirsties from UberEats. And if you just look at the map, the tracing of the route and all, you'll see that this is a very long order, in that it's going to take a lot of time to deliver it. UberEats allows 68 minutes for this order. That's over an hour. Now, you also, when you accept an order, you have to also take into account your time factor. How much time you think it's going to take for you to complete this order. Now, most people, when they see an order notification come across, especially when it's slow, you're going to be riveted to the $22.24. You may not pay attention to the smaller font that says over 30 miles. Now, again, this order is going to take a long time. You're going to be in for a long ride. And so here's where another thing that I've shared in countless segments of the Gig Geezer, where you have to know your market, not only from customer standpoint, not only from a restaurant standpoint, but you also, and I feel most importantly, need to know your market from a geographical standpoint. You need to know where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, this is how you get caught up with orders like this one on UberEats. I'm not going to mention the dollar amount on this particular one, but I'm just going to explain again. This is kind of like the first one. Nick's Gyros on DoorDash, a very popular place in the Columbia metropolitan area. They've got 5 restaurant locations and they're always busy. But this order, just like the very first one, if you use the dollar per mile as a measuring stick, this order is a minus 2.5 to 1 ratio, meaning that you're basically paying DoorDash if you were to accept this order. And also, an order like this that's offering $3.25, if memory serves me correct, an order like this offering $3.25 is prime candidate to be paired with another order, one that pays much better, but then you're stuck with a horrible order in a stacked order. So this is something that you have to bear in mind when you're out there in your daily gig hustle. Now, if you happen to be one who accepted this order, I'm not mad at you, but then again, that's a toast to the thirsty. I've showed you already now 3 examples of bad orders. 3 examples, but they get even worse. This next one is probably in a race to the bottom. This is a stacked order and I kid you not, from UberEats, stacked order offering $3.76 to the military base that is here in the Columbia metropolitan area. That's right. To do your service for the folk who serve us, or the trainees who are going to be serving us in this country, you would have been paid $3.76 if you accepted that order to deliver on base. Now, what makes an order like this so bad, not only was the order less than $1 per mile, you're losing money by, not only are you losing by accepting this order, you're losing money because this order is less than $1 per mile. And also, you're going to be dealing with a time element if you go on base. Now, that's not to say that all orders on military bases are horrible. I mean, you're going to get in pretty quickly because if you have clearance to get on. But then you've got to find the place on base. Usually, it's a trainee barracks, which is not a problem though. But then you're going to have to adhere to the speed limit, because the military police is always looking for somebody speeding 2 miles an hour or more over the speed limit. But then once you get to the barracks, you've got to wait for the recruit to come out. And more times than not, what you have to do is text message them or call them and let them know that you have their order. That is a bad order. That's just a bad one all the way around. And so if you happen to be the person who accepted that order, I'm not mad at you, but yet another toast to the thirsty. Here's another joke of an order that I happen to see. Now, just on name alone, Applebee's. And as we say down south, well, just bless their heart. Applebee's is not the most prompt and swift of places to get an order from. I don't care what time of the day it is, Applebee's, at least in the Columbia metropolitan area, is not one of your favorite places to be picking up orders from, unless it is definitely worth your while. But this one is on Grubhub. Now, the thing that you may see, the thing that may catch your attention, and this is intentional by these app companies. Notice the dollar amount is in bold lettering, $15. The dollar amount is in bold font, $15.13. In light, smaller font is the miles, 21 point plus miles. But if you're not paying attention, what you will fail to notice is that this order is going to take you into the next county. In this case, Fairfield County, which happens to be, as I've shared before, the birthplace of the late Nick Ashford of the duo Ashford and Simpson. That's right. If you had accepted this order, not only would you probably have to wait for the order from Applebee's to be ready, then you'd have to travel to the next county, and also, well, forget talking about being out of the Grubhub delivery zone. You're going to the next county, and then you'd have to drive all the way back, or hope and pray that if you're on another app, you'd be hoping and praying that maybe Waiter/Bite Squad or DoorDash or UberEats or even Grubhub has some order as you hit Richland County. In this particular case, as you're nearing or approaching Richland County, something that would get you, something that would catch your attention as you're driving back with all those dead miles. Now, I'm not mad at the person who accepted the order, but if that person accepted it and went all the way up to Fairfield County for it, a toast to the thirsty. Now, I just said that we're talking about a race to the bottom, right? And UberEats is now in the lead to the race to the bottom. But I think Instacart won the race and started running laps around them. Now, here's the next order that's up. Triple stacked order. Instacart. 37 items. Over 35 items. Let's just say it like that. Over 35 items. The offer amount, $7.30. $7.30. Triple stacked. Three orders on that. Now, anyone who's done triple orders on Instacart know that those orders can take a while to complete, inside the store, because usually there's always a substitution or a refund, and usually there's some interaction with one customer or two customers. Every now and then all three customers, but usually one or two customers is going to be difficult in a triple stacked order. Then you have to, then not only that, you have to deliver these orders. And in this particular case, I didn't talk about where these orders are being delivered to, but just the fact that Instacart ran one lap around all the other gig apps with this order, that is exploitative and outrageous. And whoever accepted this order, a toast to the thirsty. That's right. Now, the next order, apparently Instacart may have recognized the glitch that it had when offering 3 orders for $7.30. And so what Instacart tried to do, and maybe Instacart was slick about this, Instacart repackaged 2 of the 3 drop-off locations with a 3rd order, and then was offering a triple stacked order for $10, all from Public, now offering about 34 items, but still 3 orders, $10. And guess what? Here's the thing. These gig app companies know what they're doing. These gig app companies know what they're doing when they have put together when they've batched together these orders, or when they have dispatched these orders. What you got to understand is that these companies are out to make money. They're out to make money, and so if they can have these orders delivered with paying as little as possible. But in this particular case, like with Instacart, in this race to the bottom, in the race to zero, it is $7 in Instacart money and only $3 in tip. And the other order is $7.30 in Instacart money and 0 tip. Either way, Instacart is still getting over on this. The customers are getting over on it. They don't know. They don't care. But you're whoever accepted that order, you're the one who's losing all the way around. And you deserve to be called a thirsty. But now I know that some people don't like things like this, and this is offensive. This is not being positive in the YouTube community, in the gig community. But here, if you just listen to my entire segment of the Gig Geezer, you will have seen that I have explained why I said these orders are horrible, and that whoever accepted these orders, that's on you. But understand that these orders are not by glitch or by chance. These orders have been constructed according to these apps' algorithms. These all the data that these gig app companies gather in terms of marketing, customer habits, customer spending, what gets them to what attracts them to the app. And then when you're out there driving on some of these apps, while you're out there driving, the data is being gathered in terms of travel time to orders, travel times to drop off locations, the order size preferences that you like, the order payouts that you like. There's a lot of data that's being gathered and then funneled through an algorithm that solves the problem really of how to dispatch these orders on a much larger scale. In DoorDash, there are millions of customers and there are millions of drivers. On UberEats, there are millions of customers and millions of drivers. On Grubhub, there's several hundred thousands of customers, maybe a million of customers, and there's several hundred thousands of drivers out there, as with many other apps depending on their scale. But the fact is that these companies use this data to either draw customers in to use the app or draw the driver in to accept these orders. And so you have to be mindful of these things. And maybe with some drivers, and I understand, they don't want to have to think through all this stuff. But if you're going to really make this gig hustle work, you've got to think things through, man. You can't be thirsty. And I've said that a lot of times. And so if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment of the Gig Geezer, hey, hit that subscribe button. Give my content a thumbs up. Share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your hustle, may your grind continue.